Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Dragon Age Origins. In our last episode we finished up in Lothering and now we are at the party camp and I need to talk to a few people. So I suppose first of all I'm going to talk to Alistair here.
What do you need?
Do you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
I just thought you might need to talk.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
There's no need to apologize.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
What about the other Grey Wardens?
I don't know. I have no idea what the Grey Wardens do for their... when they fall in battle. The Dalish don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
We bury them and plant a tree over their remains.
That sounds quite beautiful. Life, springing from death. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
Anytime, Alistair.
Yes?
I'd like to talk.
Well, here I am.
This vision of yours.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
It's just a dream. Why say it's a vision?
I have had dreams. This was different somehow. When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rose bush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
And this made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell. Or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
Suppose I couldn't sit by either.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
Why are we stopping?
We're working together. I think I should get to know you.
There are darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Are you all right? You were in that cage for weeks.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
You said you were in the army?
I am.
Have you ever fought in a war?
I have always fought in war, elf.
So you must know your way around a battlefield then.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
I've never seen a Kunari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
No? Why not?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
A little hostile, aren't we?
Many humans have said that to me. I do not understand it. If I were indeed hostile, you would be bleeding.
See, this is you being calm and helpful.
Couldn't you tell?
You know what? Just follow orders and you'll do fine.
As you wish.
What do you wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
Did you grow up in the Kokari Wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
You can probe me anytime.
Beg pardon then, while I jump for joy. What is it you asked? If I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you kept going back to the wilds?
Would you not do the same?
Probably.
Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
Were you hurt?
Was I hurt? What manner of simpering weakling do you take me for? Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped, and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
That was quick thinking.
Men are always willing to believe two things about a woman. One, that she is weak, and two, that she finds him attractive. I played the weakling and battered my eyelashes at the captain of the guard. Child's play. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I have no idea. I'm not human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different. There were many nuances that Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
Well, I'm glad that it worked out this way, at least.
Yes? Let's ignore the entire Darkspawn threat and the presence of a simpleton as your only other Grey Warden ally, then. Not that I lack appreciation for the intent of your comment. Thank you. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Fennick, at your service, once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
Have you been following us?
I can see why you might be suspicious, being a Grey Warden and all. Were I in your shoes, I would feel the same way. Trust me when I say that my encountering you here was serendipity and nothing more. I travel a lot, so I'm bound to meet everyone on the road eventually. If you prefer, I'll take my boy and be on my way. But regretfully, you're the safest spot on this road, without a doubt.
You're free to stay. Just mind yourselves.
Wonderful. Thank the gentleman, won't you, boy?
Thank you, sir.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me. If there's anything I can do for you, please, please tell me.
Have you heard any rumors?
I hear news from Dinnerham that Tyrn Loghain has been declared the new regent. It makes sense, his daughter being the queen. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Heard any other rumors?
Some folks aren't happy about Tyrn Loghain being named regent. There are rumors he had something to do with the king's death. Isn't that the most ridiculous thing you ever heard? The Darkspawn killed him, sure enough. If Tyrn Loghain couldn't save the king from that end, then nobody could. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
How about any more other rumors?
It's not just Darkspawn in the Horde, you know that? There are people with him. Folks who are sick with the blight, and their minds are all twisted and mad. I heard tell of a man meeting his own brother on the field, yet when he called out to him, his brother didn't even recognize him and just attacked. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Well, let me see your wares, Bowden.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
You're a hard man to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levy Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levy of the coins? Levy the trader?
I'm Nerian. I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levy? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
How did you know Duncan anyway?
It's a bit of a tale, that is. But I'm the one who brought the Grey Wardens back to Ferelden. Well, I was one of the ones. There were a lot of us. Maker's breath, I'm a bit nervous. Honoured to be here, really.
Go ahead, tell your tale.
After King Marek freed us from the Orlesians, the Grey Wardens begged the King's permission to come into Ferelden, some sort of internal business. Me and a mess of other Warden sympathisers spoke on behalf of your order. Tyrn Loghain was very much against letting Orlesian Wardens in the kingdom. But Marek, Andraste, bless him, was a fair-minded monarch, and he let them in.
Go on, I'm listening.
So that's why I was there when the Wardens and their leader, Genevieve, presented herself to the king. The first Wardens in Ferelden in over a century. Proudest day of my life, that was. Duncan was a bit of a scamp back then. We were of an age, and struck up a friendship. The king himself went with the Wardens on their mysterious business. When he returned, he rescinded King Ardland's decree, and the Wardens came back to Ferelden for good.
Why were the Grey Wardens cast out by Ireland?
People say it's because the Wardens have become terribly unpopular. Just soaking up ties and not doing a bleeding thing for the kingdom. I say that's bollocks, as recent events have shown.
Marek rescinded the decree, just like that.
Marek was a bit of a visionary. A powerful mind, that one. In his travels with the Wardens, he must have seen how important their cause was, and been moved by it.
I doubt that's the full story.
There was some talk at court that he did it to improve relations with Orzammar. That might have factored into it. But make no mistake, King Marek was a giant among men.
Well, at any rate, I thank you for your part in bringing the wardens here.
Oh, your stomach's all aflutter. You're welcome.
So, what promise did Duncan make you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last warden commander of Ferelden back when the wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Orland banished the wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Orland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
So what favor did you ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honor.
You couldn't go up there by yourself?
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Orland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honor.
What do you need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it, at least?
What the heck, let's go to Soldier's Peak.
1,000 blessings upon you, Warden. I'll mark down the location on your map. When you arrive, we'll pick our way through the tunnels together.
And that looks like it'd be too long to read on camera. Soldier's Peak. Travel to Soldier's Peak. Levy offered to take you through the maze of tunnels that lead to the old Grey Warden base of Soldier's Peak. He wishes to uncover proof that his ancestor, Sophia Dryden, was the hero his family always thought she was. Okay, well, excuse me. I think that's probably enough chatting for now, so going to go ahead and do a quick save, and we're going to head off. And I have decided that I think Nerian would want to try and find the Dalish elves, even if he couldn't find his own clan. Being Dalish, he thinks he could still have a better footing with at least another Dalish clan than he's going to have with anybody else, or at least be able to talk to them easier. So he wants to go there first. And let's see. I'm going to take Liliana.
Indeed.
And Morgan.
Indeed.
And Alistair.
Yes.
Andara Natishan, my friend. You have come a long way. I gave you the welcome of our clan. These are curious companions you have. Might I ask the purpose of your visit?
I have come on behalf of the Grey Warden's sister.
The Grey Wardens? You have joined their ranks? How unusual! Excuse my surprise. I will take you to the Keeper right away.
I see we have a guess. And one of our own, no less.
This one is from one of our sister clans to the north, Keeper. It claims to have come on behalf of the Grey Wardens.
The Grey Wardens? How unusual that one of our own should join their ranks. How did such a thing occur?
It's a long story. Perhaps another time?
Perhaps so. At the moment, I'm afraid I have little time to spare for long tales. Masirinus Mithra, you may return to your post.
Manuvinen, Keeper.
Now, perhaps we might introduce ourselves. I am Zathrian, keeper and Haran of this clan. You are?
My name is Nerian. A pleasure to meet you.
If you came to bring news of the Blight in the south, it is not needed. I had already sensed its corruption. I would have taken the clan north by now, had we the ability to move. Sadly, as you can see, we do not.
Yes, it seems like you've had your own troubles. What are the odds?
Do not allow our troubles to burden you, though I suspect they may impact your mission. I imagine you are here regarding the treaty we signed centuries ago. Unfortunately, we may not be able to live up to the promise we made. This will require some explanation. Please, follow me. The clan came to the Brazilian forest 1 month ago, as is our custom when we enter this part of Ferelden. We are always wary of the dangers in the forest, but we did not expect the werewolves would be lying in wait for us. They ambushed us, and though we drove the beasts back, much damage was done. Many of our warriors lie dying as we speak. Even with all our magic and healing skill, we will eventually be forced to slay our brethren to prevent them from becoming beasts. The Blight's evil must be stopped, but we are in no position to uphold our obligations. I am truly sorry.
There's got to be a way to help your men.
The affliction is a curse that runs rampant in their blood, bringing great agony and then ultimately either death or a transformation into something monstrous. The only thing that could help them must come from the source of the curse itself. And that would be no trivial task to retrieve.
You're talking about a werewolf.
No, but it is the one who made these werewolves come to be. Within the Brazilian forest dwells a great wolf. We call him Witherfang. It was within him that the curse originated, and through his blood that it has been spread. If he is killed and his heart brought to me, perhaps I could destroy the curse. But this task has proven too dangerous for us. I sent some hunters into the forest a week ago, but they have not returned. I cannot risk any more of my clan.
I'll do anything I can to help our people.
I must warn you that more than werewolves lurk in the Brazilian forest. It has a history full of carnage and murder, you see. Where there is so much death, the veil separating the spirit realm from our own becomes thin, allowing spirits to possess things, living or dead. But if you can indeed help, then I wish you luck.
I have some questions for you.
Make them quick, if you please. I have much to do here. My apprentice Lanaya or Sayrel, the clan's storyteller, could provide you with answers just as easily.
How will I find Witherfang? Do you have any advice?
Watch for the white wolves. They are his eyes and ears in the forest.
Okay. And tell me more about this curse that the hunters suffer from.
There is not much to say. It stemmed originally from Witherfang, but now any werewolf may infect someone with it.
So if a werewolf bites me, I could become infected?
It is possible, but not guaranteed. The only way to protect against the curse is not to be bitten.
I see. How does somebody know if they've been infected?
You will know within a matter of days. You will begin to sweat and vomit, and most tellingly, your temper will become wild and uncontrollable. If that happens to you, you should seek out Witherfang even more swiftly. Your mission at that point will be rather personal.
How did this curse start?
That is a long tale I do not have time to tell. Ask Zayrel about it if you wish.
Okay. Did all werewolves everywhere stem from this Witherfang?
No. The ones from this forest, however, do.
Okay. And I should go.
I must return to caring for my people. Creator's speed on your way.
And I noticed I had a level up for Alistair, so I'm going to take care of that.
At least they have chosen freedom over subjugation. Better hardship and danger than slavery.
I agree.
What are you doing? You've warped the wood completely. Did you leave it out in the rain?
No, Master Verathorn. I think I just used too much heat.
You're not smelting ore like a Durgenlin. This is living wood. It requires patience and delicate hands, not more heat.
My actions bring me sorrow, Master Verathorn.
And so they should. Truly the art will be lost to us forever at this rate. Throw away your dead wood and start anew, and I shall speak to our guest, and Darren Atishan friend. It has been some years since I met Master Island at the last gathering. He is still hale, I hope.
He was fine when last I saw him, yes.
That is good to hear. Your clan is more familiar to us than most, since we do not stray far from each other in this land. I met your father, for he was once keeper of your clan. You carry many of his features. He spoke at a gathering, telling the clans that more of us need to voyage into the Shemlin world and learn their ways. He would be proud to see his son a Grey Warden, I think.
Oh, really? Thank you. That's kind of you to say.
Our people speak so little of the dead, especially those who end in tragedy. I thought you should know, regardless.
You seem quite advanced in the old craft, Master.
What little of the craft I've learned has been passed on to me through generations. Such is the time it has taken us to learn a fraction of what has been lost. I do not make bows as fine as Master Island's, perhaps, but mine have caused more than one Shemlin to drool at the thought of possessing them. There is wood that, if treated properly, is as hard as steel, but far lighter. It grows only in this forest. Ironbark. The Keeper has forbidden us from entering the forest to collect the wood. This means I cannot make our finest crafts for years to come.
What if I found some ironbark for you?
I would be hesitant to ask it of you, but if you should come across ironbark, I suppose there would be no harm in gathering some. It is blue and very distinctive. You can only harvest the bark which has fallen off the tree from age. Now, if you find some, bring it to me, and I will craft it for you.
Very well. I'll take a look when I'm in the forest.
That would please me, so long as our hunters come first.
Of course. I should go.
Dareth Shiro, may the Creators visit fortune upon you.
Anathara, friend. It is good to see another of the wandering clans. Where is your clan now, if I might ask?
They went north just after I left.
I see. I am glad you have become part of such a respectful organization as the Grey Wardens, however. I understand you will search for the wolves in the Brazilian forest. I would join you, but Zathrian has forbidden me.
You don't seem very happy about that.
None of us are happy about this situation, and I least of all. But I shouldn't trouble you with this. You have your own concerns, I am certain.
I would like to hear about it.
Well, perhaps you could help me with it. I would certainly appreciate anything you could do. My wife Dalish and I both fought the werewolves in the ambush. She was injured so gravely, the curse spread rapidly in her. Zathrian fought hard to ease her pain, but there was little he could do. And though he says that Dalish is dead, he will not let me see her body. I am beginning to believe she became a werewolf, and that it is being kept from me so I do not go chasing after her. If I could just know if Dalish is alive, or what happened to her, then I could be at peace.
Okay, well, I'll seek her out when I'm in the forest then.
I have an amulet made by our craftsman. It's not much, but I would be happy to give it to you in return for any news.
I shall do it.
So what's the deal with you and him anyway? Dare I ask?
Him? Him who? Is this supposed to mean something to me?
You know exactly who I'm talking about. Mr. Let's Make Kissy Faces over there.
My. You are jealous, aren't you? Did I take your favorite Grey Warden away from you?
What? I'm not jealous. I'm horrified.
Those blushing cheeks of yours tell a different tale.
These blushing cheeks are terrified that you'll suck all the blood out of them once you're finished with him.
If I feel the need to suck on anything of yours, Alistair, you'll be the first to know.
That was so not what I meant.
Perhaps we should go and tell him together about your touching concerns. Perhaps he'll pay more attention to you if you ask nicely.
Uh-huh. I think we're done here.
Done before you started, in fact.
I'm not quite sure where he got the idea that I've been making kissy faces with Morrigan, but that was a rather humorous conversation to hear anyway.
I shall do it.
Yeah, that's another long one I'll have to read off camera.
Welcome to our clan. It is good to see more of my own people from elsewhere.
You've never met another Dalish?
At the last gathering of the clans, I was too young to be permitted to mingle. I look forward to the next.
Who are you?
I am Gaina. It is a grand thing that you have chosen to become a Grey Warden. I wish I were as brave as you are.
You don't think that you are?
I am but a humble daughter with no more ambition than to be a humble wife. Is there something I can do for you?
Can you answer some questions?
I am not sure what I can tell you, but I shall try.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Zathrian? He has been our keeper since long before my parents' parents were born. What could you wish to know about him?
Just how old is he anyway?
I don't know. Very old. It is said that Zathrian may be one of the first to become as our ancestors were long ago, immortal.
But how could that be? Why him and not others?
All of us live longer than flat ears, you know that. Is your keeper not also very old? Why Zathrian differs from the others, I do not know. Perhaps he has been blessed by the creators.
Interesting. Can you tell me anything else?
What is that?
Tell me more about this forest. I've not journeyed in this one very much.
You would be best to speak to Seyrel. He is our storyteller and knows far more of such tales.
Okay. Well, thank you. I should go.
Then may the creators bring you fortune.
When I grow up, I want to be just like you.
I offer you greetings, Lethaline.
I offer you greetings, Lethaline.
Interesting.
Under an Atishan, Lethaline. My name's Lanaya, Zathrian's first. I hear your clan has moved on to the north, and that you're now one of the Grey Wardens. Allow me to congratulate you for stepping into a world that few of our people even dream of. I wish I could do the same.
If I could return to my clan, I would.
I would never leave my clan if I had the slightest choice, but the thought of adventuring in the wider world does have its appeal. If you could have stayed with your clan and done none of it at all, would you have?
I hate hypothetical questions.
Arabella's. I have so many things running around in my head sometimes that it seems I can think of little else. Perhaps, since you have traveled in the outside world yourself, might I ask you a question or two?
For a fellow Dalish, anything.
I hear the human cities are very large, thousands upon thousands of souls all packed together in their houses. Is that true?
I actually haven't been to a human city yet, just the small village. Why don't you go see a city for... why don't you go and see a city for yourself?
No, I could never leave the clan. My duties here are important to my people, and to me. No doubt, I would not even find my way. I try to imagine those of our people living in such a place, surrounded by walls of stone and indifference. It is a difficult thought.
It isn't an easy life for them, that's true.
Why do they stay, do you think? These elves who live with the humans.
I honestly have no idea. I probably don't know any better.
That is sad indeed. It is said that one day we will have a land of our own. We Dalish gather the ancient wisdom in preparation for this. When that day comes, all elves, even those who have forgotten, will reclaim their former glory. I have one more question. though I'm not sure you can answer it. Do the humans ever regret what they did to us?
Well, if King Kalen was any, how do I want to put this? If King Kalen was any example of this, I think some of them do.
And yet, even if some regret, they do nothing. A poet once wrote of them, before the fall of the Dales. Like dragons they fly, glory upon wings. Like dragons, they savage, fearsome, pretty things. But you don't need me to quote poetry to you. Forgive me. Perhaps you have some questions of your own.
Tell me more about yourself.
I'm hardly anyone special, I assure you. If I seem different from the rest of my clan, it's only because I was born amongst humans. I came to the Dalish at a very young age, but I've always retained my curiosity about the world I came from.
How did you come to the Dalish if you were so young?
My parents were servants to a human merchant whose caravans plied the southern routes. One day, bandits killed him, and my parents both. I was the only survivor, just a young girl, and the bandits took me. I was their servant for several years.
I see. I'm sorry, it must have been horrible.
It was. The long years of reflection have allowed me to come to terms with it, to put them in perspective. I can only imagine what would have happened had the clan not saved me from them. I owe them my life for that, and more.
You said they rescued you from bandits?
The bandits killed a scout when the clan passed near their camp. When the clan discovered him, Zathrian came looking for his killers. He followed their tracks for almost a month, and when he finally caught up to us, he fell on the bandits like a terror. No one could stop him. I sat there, and I watched him attack them in a blur, and I reveled in every blow. When he saw me, the fury in his eyes turned to pity. He took me back to the clan, and I've been here ever since.
What can you tell me about Zathrian?
Nothing that you could not ask Zathrian himself. He is the keeper of this clan, and has been for a very long time. He is also a very good man who has lost much. The Dalish are everything to him, and he would do anything to protect them.
I can understand them. Lost much? What has he lost?
I really shouldn't talk about that. That's something you should ask him about yourself.
Okay. Well, I suppose I should go then.
As you wish. Darth Shirel.
And I'm going to go ahead and end this episode here, because it has been a while, and I've actually lost track of how long I've been playing, so it's probably be a good time to go ahead and stop for the time being. Anyway, I thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.